Would you believe me if I told you that the XRP system is built to work as a bridge currency? It's becoming clear to me that not many people really understand what the idea of a bridge currency means for XRP. That's why I want to talk about it in this video. As a bridge currency, what does that mean for the future value of XRP? That's what I want to talk about in this video. A lot of people have a very bad idea of what XRP is used for. In this video, I'm going to explain it in detail so you know exactly what you have. Your help is very much appreciated. As always, thanks a lot. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. These two easy things help me a lot. Also, if you know a good place to buy XRP, please let me know. You can find my best change up hold down in the video's description. Now, I'm going to listen, and I hope you all enjoy what's being said. We're going to get a little more detailed in this video than usual because we're going to talk about why the XRP ledger was set up the way it was and how that makes XRP truly liquid for the whole network. Now, a lot of people saw Ripple's early goods that used XRP as a way to connect different trading systems. When they saw that XRP was being sent from one bank to another, they thought that was the greatest thing that XRP could do, in a way serving as a cross-border currency. Now, this was only something I thought would show that XRP was useful. It probably had nothing to do with what Ripple thought the holy goal for XRP was, because that's not how the XRP system was meant to work in the first place. There are key parts of the XRP system that reveal a lot about Ripple's goals. It also doesn't mean that Ripple has given up on this goal or changed the use case, but this idea couldn't come true because the business was still too new. There would have been no tokenized assets if the XRP system was only used to send XRP. It wouldn't have mattered if assets were tokenized. If XRP was the only important object, why would you need to tokenize it? The main idea behind a tokenized asset is that it needs to work with other financial goods so that various businesses, organizations, people, and places can show value in their own unique ways. Not everyone will want to keep their money in XRP. There will be a lot of people who want to keep value or use fiat money. An awful lot of people are going to need bonds, stocks, and all these other things. The truth is that they just want those goods to work better. Tokenization was thought of when the XRP system was made. Keep in mind that these old goods aren't going away. The only thing that will change is the platform on which they are released. There is one very cool thing that Ripple built into the XRP ledger: pathfinding. With pathfinding, XRP is now the default bridge asset for the XRP database. For the most part, XRP will always be the default liquidity for a trade between two assets if you can't find a good source of liquidity between those assets. The original liquidity for the whole XRP ledger is XRP. XRP was never really meant to be a payment token. This shows. It was never meant to mean, let me spend an XRP on groceries. It wasn't meant to be the money that made that shift of value possible. That person on the other end of the exchange doesn't have to get what I want to give them if I go to the grocery store and want to pay with, say, Japanese yen, Tesla stock, Bitcoin, or something else. They can get whatever they want. However, that can only happen if there is liquidity in the middle. XRP serves as that liquidity in the middle. From the start, XRP was never meant to be the real way that value was sent. Moving quickly is what it does best, and that can be useful in that case. It's much more important to make sure that everyone can use the money system. People aren't being forced to use XRP by that scheme, right? That doesn't make sense. That method of money transfers lets me pay with what I want to pay and lets the other person receive what they want to receive. Most of the time, this will be currency changes. But what if I want to buy things at the store with Tesla stock, whose value has dropped dramatically over the past few years, but the store doesn't want Tesla stock? They want US dollars. The future financial system will have ways to make that happen. Let's say I want to use USD to pay when I go to Japan. I don't want to change my USD into JPY, which is a Japanese currency. I only want to use USD to pay. I don't want to have to make Japanese people and businesses take USD, do you? They should be able to get the money they want, and what's needed is something in the middle that lets the money move and make that trade and exchange between the two items. Pathfinding was built into the XRP system from the start, which takes care of this right away. This really shows that they have known from the start that XRP would be a big part of the future banking system. It was planned that Ripple would work with the big banks, which it already does, to get them to put their assets on the XRP ledger. This way, XRP could be used as a local liquidity swap between all of them. It's more like a communal broker-dealer or clearinghouse than a payment network. It does allow payments, but payments are only a small part of the world's financial action. I think what it really is clearing and cash. It links all of these different systems together and makes ways for value to move without stopping. It was built right into the XRP system so that pathfinding could work. This is because the people who created XRP saw it as a way to make swaps possible, and XRP is worth a lot more than just a payment token at that point. You can send me XRP, but if there's always a buy and sell on the other side, the price of XRP doesn't change much. But if I add hundreds of billions of assets to the XRP ledger that will be moved from one form to another all the time, the system needs a neutral amount of liquidity to handle all that activity. It is built into the XRP ledger to use XRP as that cash. Guys, listen to this if you think I'm crazy for thinking that's Ripple's plan. In fact, what I'm talking about is all about something called the Super DEX, and Jazzy Cooper had a great chat where they talked about this very subject. I was shocked when I heard this for the first time. It completely changed how I thought about the XRP system. As the purest form of decentralized liquidity, XRP is used as the basis for this system. I used to think, like a lot of other people, that XRP was only used for payments and moving money from one place to another. That's not all of it. The whole financial system is going to be rewired, and XRP will be the liquidity because that's how the XRP record naturally names it in the payment stack and the transaction stack. You'll really start to understand how big this idea is after hearing this. A lot of people can't even begin to believe it. Ripple wants XRP to have the most liquidity of any cryptocurrency in the world. In order to make payments, make transactions, or clear any kind of value, you have to connect to the XRP system. This is the fastest way to do all of these things. Pay attention to this. As we start to work with more interoperability players, our goal is to make the XRP ledger a center for value transfer. That way, it doesn't matter if you're trading on Polygon, trying to buy an NFT, or using an advanced DeFi strategy on Ethereum. If you want to swap token A for token B using the right cross-chain infrastructure, it will happen on the XRP mainnet and end up back in your wallet without ever leaving the chain you're on, at the fastest speed and lowest price anywhere in blockchain. That's it, folks. The concept of a super DEX, and this isn't some powerful person talking. This is the person in charge of Ripple's DeFi plan. We're going to talk about what I think is the most important thing in crypto, putting all of the liquidity on the XRP record, which is the best blockchain for it. Because of this, it is a super DEX for all DeFi, making sure that all money flows through XRP. They're only talking about crypto. This is only the Bitcoin business. If this is possible with crypto, just think how easy it would be to do with some given assets like tokenized stocks and bonds. We are looking at a change in the way funding works. The XRP ledger is the system that is in charge of moving this money around. And can you guess where the cash comes from? It's not from the XRP record, right? It's made of XRP. The amount that is stored on the XRP ledger is XRP. It's a part of the payment stack that moves money around. Also, guys, think about this. There is a set amount of XRP in the world. That being said, there is only one way to get more value on the XRP ledger. If you had $1.00 in XRP, right? $1.00 worth of XRP and 100 billion tokens is X amount of liquidity. If you need twice as much liquidity, only one thing can be different. The amount of liquidity. It's not going to be the number of tokens. The price of each ticket has to be taken into account. As things stand, I think we'll need a lot more liquidity on the XRP record. The only way to get that liquidity is to raise the price of XRP so it can meet the needs of the whole system. This is a big picture of where XRP is going. There's no doubt about it. It's being talked about. It's clear since they're working together with Hidden Road. They want to clear all deals around the world with XRP.